Long ago, over 1,000 years, high in the green mountains of ancient Ethiopia, our story is about a simple, quiet shepherd named Kaldi. He spent his days watching his goats in the big, silent fields. One quiet afternoon, Kaldi was tired, almost falling asleep. His mind was drifting, just waiting for the day to end, until he saw something that woke him up fast. For weeks, Kaldi had noticed something strange. Suddenly, goats were secretly eating bright red berries from a specific bush. People called these berries evil and said to stay far away from them. Kaldi expected the goats to get sick, but instead they did exact opposite. After eating the berries, the goats would suddenly start their wildest, craziest dance. They jumped and ran like they had endless energy. Kaldi shook his head, and since the animals were totally fine, he just chose to ignore the wild behavior. But the mystery got darker. Then came the real shock. Late one cold night, Kaldi woke up to a terrible noise, and there they were, the berry eating goats, wide awake and totally crazy. They were having midnight party while the rest of the world slept. He wasn't sure before, but the connection between the berries and this strange late night power was now undeniable. The next day, some of the crazy goats even broke out the yard and ran everywhere. Kaldi was now 100% sure that forbidden berries were the source of this tireless jumping madness. Kaldi was afraid, but also super curious. He knew he had to try ancient secret himself. He chewed a few of the raw red berry. Soon a wave of energy hit him, a clean, powerful jolt. He felt fresh and alive, like he had just been reborn. He rushed back to the village with the miracle fruit and told everyone its amazing power. But the villagers were full of old fears and refused to even touch the dangerous fruit. But a few of his closest friends, being braver, secretly tried the berries. They felt the same incredible rush. They started eating them only when they needed a big burst of energy. This new craze couldn't stay quiet. The local religious priest soon heard the terrible news. He was furious. He feared the evil power and commanded everyone to throw every single berry into the terrifying blazing fire. But as the raw beans hit the scorching heat, something magical happened. Instead of the smell of evil, the fire let out a magical rich smell. It was warm and earthy, and it felt peaceful. Even the priest stopped, surprised by the irresistible, amazing fragrance that filled the air. The priest walked away, but the people understood the secret now. They kept using the scented, roasted beans in silence. Finally, one clever person ground up the fire roasted beans and boiled them in water. They made a perfect dark drink to share. And that, from a tired shepherd, a herd of dancing goats, and a fire that smelled like heaven, is the legend how the modern day cup of coffee, the drink that powers the world, was born.